Good morning and or evening, everyone. We'll give it a couple minutes for people to pop in. I know I started it a little bit early. All right, instead of where you're logging in from today, let's do, hey, Michael, let's do, what is your favorite Ezoic product? Switch it up a little bit. Seeing as you guys are having to deal with me back-to-back weeks. Thank you. No favorite Ezoic products? There's got to be some. Oh, thank you. Appreciate all the love. Ooh, header bidding. Interesting. I wasn't expecting that one. Love header bidding. Give you guys a little bit of inside information. We totally revamped our revenue operations team, who is now going out and is assessing all of these different header bidding partners. So we are seeing some like awesome results. It used to be that Google was probably like 80 to 85% of total revenue at Ezoic. It's now down to about 75%. Sometimes it'll hit 70 because header bidders, especially places like Amazon and that kind of stuff, are just increasing their value overall. So it's pretty awesome. Ooh, video player, perfect. Tag tester, love tag tester. We are currently working on tag tester 2.0. It is really awesome, really exciting. Hopefully we'll get that out before the end of the year. We'll see. Yes, I did know that the video player was down. Just a heads up, some of our internal databases were getting revamped yesterday. So there was quite a lot of internal features that were down. The one that they're still fixing right now is the video import tool. Fingers crossed it'll be fixed today. I'm pretty sure it will be. It wasn't when I checked first thing this morning, but hopefully we can take care of that for you guys. Big data analytics, customizable reports, love those. We're working on what we call insight reports. I'm not sure if you guys saw it during customer week, but these saved reports in big data analytics that you guys can just click on, and it's some of the ones that we use internally really often. So especially, if you're split testing against AdSense or your original setup, you can just go in, click on this insight report, and it'll pull up last 30 days of Ezoic versus your original setup. So that way you can compare EPMB, all of these user experience metrics, all that kind of stuff is going to be just a click of a button for you guys. We're working on getting some of the most popular ones, but everybody has their own things that they do. All right, cool. Looks like attendees have started to slow down a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and pop into things. For those of you guys that haven't been with me before, I really ask that you use the Q&A function. It's really difficult for me to keep an eye on the chat during the presentation. So if you could just use the Q&A, I can get to all of the questions at the end. We have a ton of features to go over. The video player has been expanding like crazy. Our video team works so hard that I was even surprised going through and putting this presentation together how many new features there are that I haven't used. So we're going to go over all of that. So if you guys have any questions, save them until the end. All right, so again, for those of you that are new, I always go over this. Ezoic is a global company. We now actually have 5 offices. So I'm here in Carlsbad in our headquarters in California. No, it is not sunny and 75 degrees. It is actually cloudy today, so it's a little sad. We also have an office in London, another in Newcastle, and then we have a new office that just opened up in Germany, and another one up in Canada, but those are kind of very small teams at the moment. We are now up over 220 team members, and we speak 8+ different languages, and we're currently expanding all the time. So really exciting to see our growth over the past year or 2 or 3, or actually the entire time. It's really awesome. A little bit about me. I am a publisher success manager for level 4 publishers specifically. I actually lead the team of level 4 PSMs is what we call it. So really exciting to kind of take level 4 to new heights basically. So if you guys are in level 3, come on up, build that traffic and get up to join us. A little bit about me outside of work. I play volleyball. I play beach volleyball pretty much every single week, and I also coach. I coach 2 youth volleyball teams. So I deal with a bunch of teenage girls. I love it though. And then I'm really into baking. So cookies, cakes, bread, the whole thing. And I sometimes blog about it, but with coaching and working, I am a little bit busy. So I don't blog as much as I used to. All right, so getting a little bit into video benefits. As a publisher, it's really, really difficult because video production takes time. It is really time consuming. Sometimes it can be expensive, but overall the benefits to you as a publisher are massive. So some recent stats, obviously these are updating all the time, but there are now over 2 billion active YouTube users. That is a huge number, 2 billion with a B. 85% of internet users actually consume the information that they're looking for via video. So if you don't have video content, that means that there is a huge percentage of users going to search engines that are not viewing your content because they are looking for that video. In 2021, might be due to the pandemic, not sure. Average video consumption per day increased to 100 minutes. I'm pretty sure in 2020 it was 84 minutes. So 100 minutes per day. And year over year, we see this massive increase in digital ad spend for video advertising. So it increases about 16-17% every single year, but you can see that it's just going up and up and up. I'm in the way, but currently $22 billion in digital ad spend for video. So tons of money there. Video benefits, what does it do for you as a publisher? So 4 main things that we're going to go over today. Number 1, it improves your SEO. Number 2, increases traffic through video search result pages specifically. It'll also help maximize your overall revenue for the site. And lastly, it will improve user engagement on your site, which we are all looking for as publishers. So first, how does this improve SEO? So videos on page are a known ranking factor for Google. They've mentioned this quite a few times. Some of the additional benefits, adding keywords to your video titles, descriptions, and tags help you rank higher for that specific keyword. So those of you guys that know me know that I talk about baking all the time because it's what I know. So if I have a funfetti cupcake recipe and then I create a video about it, I can now use that funfetti cupcake keyword in the video title, the video descriptions, any of those tags. So it's just increasing that frequency so that search engines can pick that up, specifically Google, which we all kind of have to abide by. The video transcripts also help with findability in search engine result pages. So when you go through and you create that video, it basically creates a transcript for you. And if any of the queries that users are searching for are answered by that transcript, it's going to help improve your SEO and those rankings so that you can get that user coming to your site. Video sitemaps also help improve your keyword density, really important. So if I then have a couple of pages on funfetti cupcakes and funfetti cookies, and now I'm including that in my video sitemap as well, it helps with the overall density and that authority. And then lastly, improves user experience. So we know that the more users are engaged with your site, the more it's going to help in the eyes of Google. People aren't bouncing from your site. So those UX metrics tend to stay stable, if not increase, which helps with your rankings. Second thing, increase traffic through video search. So this is a really good example. So chocolate chip cookie recipe, I was feeling very uninspired last night and just stuck with my usual. But you can see here that the top 3 results are all self-hosted. So joyfoodsunshine.com has this video on their site, and it is not hosted externally. So when I click on this video, it's going to take me to their actual website, versus you can see the one at the bottom, soft and chewy chocolate chip cookie recipes, is actually on YouTube. So if I'm a publisher and I create a chocolate chip cookie recipe and I add a video and I upload it to my YouTube, YouTube is now going to get this traffic, meaning that when the user clicks on that, it's going to go to YouTube's website and not mine. So I then am missing out on that traffic. So the best thing about Ezoic's video player is that it's going to be self-hosted videos, meaning that any users that are searching for this content that you are ranking for, when they click on that video, it will take them to your website. And then there's a higher likelihood that they're going to be able to engage with more of your content. All right, maximize ad revenue. Make sure you guys are getting a piece of that money pie. YouTube takes a huge chunk out of your ad revenue from video. I've seen a lot of different numbers. I'm pretty sure it depends on the amount of revenue that you're bringing in and what tier you're at. I know that you do have to have quite a high number of video views per month to actually qualify for video ads on YouTube. Otherwise, they keep all of the revenue. The other side of that is that they're taking almost 45% in most cases. So it's a really, really high amount of revenue that they are keeping from you as a publisher and as a video creator. So we want to make sure that you as a publisher are getting the revenue that you deserve. You're putting in the time and the effort to create this video. Why are you missing out on almost 50% of the revenue that you should be earning? We also have to consider that if you guys are self-hosting your videos on Ezoic's video player and that traffic is coming back to your website, we're then also increasing the amount of traffic that is coming to your site. So we're then getting ad revenue from digital advertising as well. So it's kind of this twofold impact that you're getting both sides, both the video ad revenue and the increased traffic. So you can combine those to totally improve your ad revenue. And then video RPMs are really high. So advertisers know that if a video for a chocolate chip cookie recipe is on my chocolate chip cookie recipe page, there's going to be a lot of people who are going to watch and engage with that video, knowing that it's relevant to what they're actually looking for. And then improved UX on site means a higher EPMV. So if users are more engaged with your content, there's a higher likelihood that advertisers are going to start paying more, because the higher engagement that you have, the higher likelihood that they're going to be engaged lower in the page, meaning that RPMs for those placeholders or ads lower in the page actually starts to go up over time. Cool. Last one, improves UX. So having that video on site. So again, chocolate chip cookie recipe, if there's a video, I'm now going to increase my time on site, not just to look at the recipe and that instructions. I'm actually going to engage with that video and watch what they do and interact with it. So that I've seen times that pages with videos that get added to them, you'll see improved metrics of 20, 30, 40% time on site, average engaged time on site, improving from before and after that video was implemented. People really do love to interact with videos. So definitely recommend. I see a couple of questions going into the chat function. If you guys can pop those over into the Q&A, that way they don't get buried. It's really hard for me to go back through the chat. So overall engagement on the site, Decreased bounce rate. These are all the metrics that Google is looking at when they are making some of these decisions for SEO as well. So they are looking at UX, they are looking at overall, how often is a user bouncing from this site. If there's a high bounce rate, it means that they're probably not finding the information that they need. So if a user comes to the site and they see that there's this video that's relevant to what they're looking for, it's going to increase the likelihood that they stay on your site and actually engage more. Cool. Overall benefits of video: more money, more users are coming to your site, finding that information. It's overall more healthy for your site as a whole to improve that user engagement and get them staying on your website for longer. So how do we build a video strategy? There's a lot that goes into it. If you don't have one already, we have a great article. I pulled a ton of information from it on ezoic.com/blog. If you just search for video strategy, this article will come up, and it's really well written by Ron Stefanski from 1 Hour Professor. So number one, you have to set your goal. What exactly are you looking to achieve with your video strategy? Are you looking to drive more user engagement to the site? Are you looking to increase traffic? What exactly are you looking for? And then we can start to evaluate what the best strategy is for you. The second thing, you want to find your target audience. As a recipe blogger, I'm probably going to be looking for a lot more females than I am males. Maybe, who knows? It'll go both ways, but I have to find who is my target audience, who am I creating this video for, what are those demographics that I'm looking at. The next is set your budget. There are tons and tons of firms out there that say that they'll create videos for you. There's products that are going to be really expensive. There's so much out there. You don't have to go above and beyond. I've seen plenty of people in the industry write blogs about how they're creating video on a budget, and it doesn't have to be crazy expensive for you. So do a little bit of research, find what works best for you. It's going to depend on where you're at in your publishing journey, where you're at regionally in the world. All of us have access to different things. So take that into consideration, figure out what makes sense for you, and then set your budget and see what you can do within that budget. And then think about what types of videos that you want to create. So how-to videos, storylines, testimonials. There's a ton of different video kind of categories out there. You have to figure out what works best for your website. So back to my recipe site, I'm probably going to have a lot of these how-to videos. So how to make chocolate chip cookie recipes. It's going to be a lot of my KitchenAid mixer doing the work and me adding in some ingredients, because that's probably what my users are looking for. Whereas if I had a history site on the history of, I don't know, New York City, let's say, I'm probably going to have a lot more of these like storylines, documentaries, maybe a couple of storylines of families that started in New York City and created an empire. I don't know, you guys can be creative. You guys know your content more than I do. So come up with, at least think about what exactly is going to work with the content of my website, and what type of video is it going to be? What are my users most likely looking for? Because again, remember, with video, we're looking to improve the number of answers that we can give to users from their search queries in Google. So if I search, what is the history of New York City? I want to make sure that my video is answering that question. I'm not just creating a video to show across my entire website to just have video and generate revenue from that. Users are not going to engage with that video. It means you're going to get less clicks on those ads before the video, meaning that the RPM is going to go down. So we're then increasing the number of ads per page. Overall engagement is going down, meaning that your EPMB and your RPMs for your site will go down over time. It's what we call fake video. Fake video is absolutely detrimental to your website's health in the long run. So I highly, highly recommend steering away from it. It does take a while to build a video strategy, but start with it, know that it's a process and work your way through it. And it will start to pay off in the long run. I've got a couple of examples later on that I can show you guys. And then find your crew to help you out with this. So if you need to hire someone, if you're going to take it on yourself, figure out what you're going to do and then go from there. Cool. All right, so getting a little bit more into Ezoic's video player specifically, we've got a ton of information in here. So I'm going to kind of breeze through it because it seems like there's quite a few people that that are using Ezoic's video player already. So pretty basic. All you guys have to think about is 3 main steps. So number 1 is upload your videos to Ezoic's video tab. Number 2, create the video placeholders. And then number 3, assign the videos that you want to their respective pages. Pretty simple. I get lots of questions on this. People overthink it. It's really not that complicated, just 1, 2, 3. So upload, create those placeholders, assign the videos. So uploading your videos is now way easy because we have the YouTube video import tool. But if you have a video as like an MP3 or MP4 or whatever file, you can go into the video tab and just click on upload new video, drag and drop it from your computer, and it will upload it for you. Now, most people have their videos on YouTube. So our team created this awesome video import tool. All y'all have to do is authorize Ezoic access. Click on YouTube import. So on here, there's now a third option that says YouTube import. Select the videos that you want to upload. So because we're connected to your YouTube at that point, it'll pull up all the videos that you have. So you can see here, this is for ezoic.com. We have 99 pages of videos. So you guys can go through and you can actually select, just click this little checkbox for whatever videos that you want to upload to Ezoic. From there, you can assign them to a specific placeholder ID. So a simple example, so we have Ezoic Customer Week. We have a ton of videos from Customer Week. It might be that we want to assign all of these videos to the same placeholder, let's say 156. That's the one that we added at the top of ezoic.com/customer week. But we have a bunch of articles in there, so we can go in and say, I want it assigned to this placeholder ID. And then once you do that, this placeholder URL option will show up. So I can say, here's the video that I'm uploading from YouTube. I want it assigned to this placeholder ID, and I only then want it showing on this specific URL. That'll make sense in a second. I'll come back to it for you guys. But it's a pretty simple process and you can take care of all of it. So then once you click save, it'll then import those videos over, get them assigned to the correct placeholder ID, and get them on the page that you guys are looking for. So we'll do a quick timeout and go back a step. So to create video placeholders, all you'll need to do is make sure you have the Ezoic Chrome extension installed in your Chrome browser. Make sure you're logged in, and then once you enable the video player in your Ezoic dashboard, you'll see that a third option shows up in the Chrome extension. So you'll have ads, video, and leap. If you go to the video tab, click on create video and then select video location, you'll see that it's the same HTML element picker that the Chrome extension uses. So you can go through your site and actually pick whatever element that you want to show the video on, and it'll then create a placeholder. So these placeholders are going to work the same way as the Ezoic Chrome extension for ads. We're going to look for that same HTML element on all other pages across your site. So if I go in and this is under the first paragraph of this page, I'll say create a video placeholder. It'll then create this blank video placeholder that's just going to sit there. It won't do anything until I assign a video, which is the next one. So as long as you create that video placeholder, it will transfer across all pages. When I'm setting up the video player for my publishers, what I have them do is they create all of these videos, they get them uploaded, and then some of them use it themselves. Some of them send me a list of the pages that they want the videos showing on. So I'll go through and I'll create 3 different placeholders, one at the top, one in the middle, one at the bottom. So that way it's across all pages on my website. I have 3 video placeholders assigned to them. The next step is we're going to go in, and once you create that placeholder, click that little drop down and select assign video. That's then going to pull up this pop-up, and it's going to have all of the videos that you have uploaded to your Ezoic dashboard. So if you have hundreds of videos that are uploaded, you can just search for the video that you're looking for. But once you select the video that you want, click assign video, and that video will then be assigned to that placeholder specifically just for that page. So placeholders are across the entire website. Assigned videos are by URL. We do have a couple of different options, which we'll get into in a second, but most of the time, I would say 95% of the time, we're only going to be showing videos on one page because my chocolate cake recipe is not the video that my users want to see when they're looking for my snickerdoodle cookie recipe. So we have to make sure that the video is relevant to what the user is searching for, because again, if they're searching for chocolate cake and we're showing snickerdoodles, they are not going to engage with that video at all. So that's why we have the unique assignments based on the page. Once you go in and you assign the video, we do have some editing options. So you just click that drop down again, click edit. You'll be able to adjust the height and the width of the placeholder for the video. You can apply it to a directory. So if I go into example.com/cookies/chocolate chip recipe, I can assign a cookie video to all pages in the cookie directory. You can assign it to all videos across your entire website by choosing the subdirectory with just the /. That means that that video is going to be assigned to every page that has that placeholder added to it. You'll also have the ability to enable auto start and disable by device. So if I only want the video player showing up on desktop versions, I can do that. If I only want it showing up on mobile, I can do that as well. So you guys have some editing options in there. Wow, we've got lots of questions. I'm gonna run through the rest of this information. We do also have the ability to add playlists. So again, if I have a chocolate chip cookie, a snickerdoodle cookie, it's fall, so oatmeal butterscotch cookie recipe, and I have all of these videos, I can create a playlist and I'll label it cookie recipes, and then I can then assign that playlist to any pages that I want. So again, I can go into the cookie directory and I can assign that playlist to that directory. And so any pages that fall under that cookie directory are going to get this playlist. And it shows up on the site with the main video, and then there's a couple of thumbnails beneath it for all the videos that we have added to the playlist. And then you assign it the same way, they just show up as a playlist instead of the actual video. Once you start showing videos on your site, we have a couple of places that we have reporting. So in the publisher dashboard, you can see over here on the right, we have the specific videos, the date that they were created, the playback count, and the revenue that's been generated from them. And then down below is the reporting and big data analytics. So once you go into big data analytics, go over onto the left-hand side, scroll down to video, and you're going to see that there's multiple different reporting there. So we report based on the page, based on the video, and then we have an overview as well. So you guys can actually see how each video is performing. So let's say I have, I don't know, let's say I have my chocolate chip cookie recipe showing on 5 different pages. If I go into the actual reporting based on the video, I'm going to see how that video is performing overall. But then if I go to the page level reporting, I'm going to see how it is for example.com/chocolate chip cookie recipe. So you can break it down and see exactly how it's performing for you. We have a ton of customizations. This is something that our team has been working on religiously. So when you go into the video tab, when this is for editing the actual video. So this is what it looks like. This is the video that's been uploaded. If you click this little pencil icon, it'll pull up this pop-up. So the first thing that you're going to be able to edit is the title, the description, any keywords, and privacy. So do we want it public? That means it's going to be showing on the site to all users, or you can keep it private until you feel like the styling and everything is good to go. It basically means that everything is set up. We're just not showing it to users live on the site if you set it to private. You can also change the thumbnail. So you can go in and choose a thumbnail recommended from us, or you can upload your own. So if you have one of those, if you create an image at the beginning of your video, I know that people do this for YouTube all the time. I do it for the weekly walkthroughs when I get them uploaded to YouTube. But you take that thumbnail and you just upload it there, and that way you can make sure that it's what you're looking for. But again, this description and these keywords, really beneficial for SEO. Make sure that you guys fill that out, take the time, make sure that the keywords that you guys are targeting for that page that you're assigning it to, you're getting added into this description and into these keywords. It's really going to help you overall with your SEO. As we move down some of the tabs in there, you're going to be able to adjust the closed captions. You can add them, you can change the language, you can set the IAB category, restrict by refer, basically meaning other people can use it or not. And you can also adjust the video settings. So if you want the video to start at a certain number of seconds versus just starting from the very beginning, you can go in and adjust that as well. All right, so these settings are for the actual placeholders. So when you go into the Ezoic video dashboard, you'll see that up at the top, there's the option to import. Then there's going to be the actual videos. And then down beneath that, you're going to see video placeholders. So this is when you click on that edit icon in the video placeholder specifically. It'll have this new modal pop up. So you can adjust the width and the height of that placeholder on the site. You can change the video title. So simple with title or latest video. So it'll say latest video as the title. You can have the original title or you can have nothing. So you can go in there and adjust that. You can change the assignment of the video based on that placeholder. And then the video placeholder type is standard versus meta tag. So standard is going to be the same way that we just walked through, where you go in and you create those placeholders. You then go to the page that you want to show the video on and you assign that video. We added the option to assign videos via meta tag. So if you have meta tags set up on your website, so let's say I have a meta tag for cakes. I can go in and assign this placeholder configuration to a meta tag. And so any pages with that cake meta tag are going to get the same video played across it. So instead of going in page by page and assigning it, I can assign via meta tag, and you'll just have to make sure that those meta tags are set up properly. Down beneath that, you can assign the URL. So if it's standard, we're assigning it to a specific URL. Again, page by page level versus meta tag is going to be numerous pages. But then we can either activate on the directory. So let's say it was simplypsychology.org / therapy, and then a slash with the rest of the URL. You can assign it to that therapy directory, depends. You can also enable or disable auto start. So as soon as the user gets into the screen of the video, we can auto start that ad showing. Toggling that off is pretty detrimental to overall revenue for the video player, so I definitely recommend leaving it on. The floating is automatic by default, so when they come to the site, if the video is not in the viewport, we're going to have that little video pop up in the bottom right-hand corner. And it's going to scroll with the user as they go to the page until they get to the video player, and then the full video player will pop up and it'll be a big screen based on this height and width that you set here. And then as they scroll past that, it'll pop the video back over into the corner. You can disable that floating unit if you want. Again, pretty detrimental for earnings for you, so definitely recommend leaving it on. And then you can enable and disable the ads based on the page. So if you have a couple of pages that you don't want to show ads on, I know some people, so I work with a client who has an about me video that she has on her site. So we disabled ads for that page specifically because she wants people watching her video primarily. All right, so we have added some additional options. This one's really cool. I'm really excited about it. Auto select placeholder. Auto select placeholder videos. Sorry, there's a couple of notifications that are covering my screen. So this is going to allow the Ezoic systems AI to match the content of the video to the content of your page. So you can go in and enable this feature, create a placeholder, and just allow Ezoic to do its thing. Basically what we're doing is we're going through and we're reading the content of the page. We're going through and reading the transcript of the video, and we're making sure that those two are aligned, and then we'll go ahead and show that video. So this is really beneficial. I was working with a site this week who has a bunch of cleaning hacks. So he's got a couple of different videos for like cleaning cabinets. One is with vinegar, one is with a sponge or something. So he's got all of these different videos that are based on these different products, but he's got numerous pages on his site that these videos can all be associated with. So it doesn't have to be one in one. Sometimes you're going to have videos that are going to be able to show on multiple pages, which is totally fine as long as the content is relevant. So when you auto select the placeholder videos and turn on this feature, Ezoic is going to be doing all of that work for you. So really awesome. Definitely recommend. It's built into our AI. So if a user comes to the page and they're turned off by this video because it has nothing to do with what they're looking for, we're going to understand that and learn that and not show it to those types of users again. So definitely recommend using this. It's awesome. You can also go in, and this is another app. So as you go down the page in the video tab, so you can adjust the video player styling. This is probably one of our like biggest requests that we get from users all the time. So we now have the option to change the foreground color, the background color of the video. You can go in and just click on that, and a little the different shades will show up, so you can go through and change all the colors that you want. You can change the video title customization options. So you can turn those. So this is the photo over on the left. So it can either be default. You can remove the title below the videos. You can add a prefix to all title videos, add a suffix, or set a custom title for all videos. Some people just wanted the video title to be their domain name or something like that. I wouldn't recommend it. It doesn't get the point across with your video, but you do have all of these options. You can then also adjust where the title is aligned. So do you want it to the left, center, or right? And then you can change the margins around it. So if you want, 20 pixels beneath the video title to give it some padding, you guys can go in and adjust that. If you're like, I don't know what I'm doing, leave the default settings. We have done so much research. The video team is so smart. They have done all this kind of stuff and created all these different features. The default is by far the best practice. but some people want that customization. If you guys have theme colors that you want to match, you can go in and match those colors, that kind of stuff you guys can do. You can also upload your logo, and you can change where the floating position is. I know some people have content over on the right-hand side of the page that they don't want covered, so they want the video player showing in the middle or on the left. So you can go in and adjust the floating player position based on the device. So for mobile, I might want it on the left because I have a share button that's over on the right-hand side, but for desktop and tablet, I'm gonna leave it over on the right. So you guys have all of these customization options, not to like overwhelm you and say that you need to know everything that's going on here, but if there is something for your website, just know that it's not a make it or break it deal. We have all of these customizations that you can go in and change and edit. Oh, wow, cool. That was it. Awesome. Looks like we definitely have a bit of time. So there is a ton of questions in here. So I'm going to start working my way through them. So just be patient with me. Hopefully I didn't overwhelm you guys too much to the point where you don't want to use it. It's awesome. I've actually worked with it a ton, especially in the last couple of weeks. I think people are starting to realize how important a video strategy is. So in the next couple of weeks, I'll probably have some better graphics for you guys. But we've seen some awesome results of people that have been using it for a long time. The video player, sorry, I like keep thinking of all this additional information. The video player is built into our AI. So the historical advertising rates are the bid floor rates are adjusted based on historical data. So all of that is built in so that we are improving the value of those impressions over time. So if you start out and you're like, video EPMV is really low, it's not worth my time, give it time. It just needs to learn. It does take additional time for the header bidding partners to get added in as well. So just give it some time, let it do its thing. Really just focus on, it's like when you're building a website, you're really focused on just improving traffic, improve traffic. You know that you're going to go negative for a little bit. Revenue is going to come. It's the same way with video. You've got to build it up. You've got to get that strategy. And then in time, it is going to pay off. Okay, now I'm back to my questions. I have several videos related to one post. What should be the best practice to show them? All in the post in the small size or links to individual posts. So if you have several videos related to one post, you can go in and create that playlist and then assign that playlist to that specific page. If you have a video that is related to specific or multiple posts, so the reverse, one video, multiple posts, I would go in and just assign that video to those multiple pages. We are only going to show one video per page. So even if you assign multiple videos, multiple different videos to the same URL, we're only going to show one. So if you want multiple videos showing on one page, you need to create a playlist. When will it be possible to place one video placeholder and it will apply to all sites as with normal ads? It should do it as long as you're assigning that video placeholder to an HTML element that is on every single page across your website. The other thing that you can do if you're having issues with it not transferring, so it's really common for the Chrome extension placeholders to not transfer when you're using a page builder like Elementor or Divi or Thrive or something like that. They add a lot of custom CSS so that overall HTML of every single page changes. So what you're going to want to do is you can go into the video tab and scroll down to the video placeholder, create one, and then you can take that video placeholder code and add it to your website manually. We have talked about using the new Ezoic WordPress plugin with the ad settings to add placeholders. We have talked about using that to create video placeholders as well to make sure that they transfer really well. But that's kind of next on our list of things to do. We're still cleaning up the ad settings in the current plugin, but it's definitely on our radar. I love that idea. I think it'd be great and get a lot more people using video, but the Chrome extension should work. It pretty much works for me across all websites that I've worked with. There's only been 2 or 3 in the entire time that we've had video that I haven't been able to get those videos transferring across. And then when I actually looked at it, it's because one of the pages that I was assigning it to was a post in WordPress. And then the other one that I was assigning it to was a page. Okay, why are there 2 webinars at the same time? This one in the Q&A with, I don't know about that Q&A. I've never heard of that person either. Sorry. I'm experimenting with video. Video EPMB is 91 cents for a page getting 160 view plays, makes about 15 cents a day. The page gets 250 visits a day, but the sticky sidebar ads don't appear where the video ad is placed. Question is, I suspect sticky sidebar ad EPMB is much higher. Is this the case? If so, how is it beneficial? Also, how can I put ad code into a sticky widget also with the video placement? So lots of questions there. Number one, RPM is different than EPMB. So people look at video EPMB and they're like, oh my God, it's only $1 or $2 so low. That is going to be very different than RPM, which is what advertisers are paying. So first of all, we have to distance those from one another. The second thing is, again, our system is going to learn over time and is going to start to increase that value. So the more views that we can actually get and the more engagement that we get, it's going to increase the value that advertisers are actually going to pay. Second thing, the sticky sidebar. I know that there was an issue of the sticky sidebar overlapping with the floating video. So you can pop the floating video over to the left-hand side of the screen and see if that resolves it. It should, but it definitely depends on the site, and it depends on historical data. You're going to see some sites that the floating sidebar unit outperforms the video, but the same is true vice versa. It totally depends on the site and that historical data and what advertisers are bidding on it. How could I put ad code into a sticky widget also with the video placement? I would just recommend using the Ezoic automated sticky sidebar and floating unit. I wouldn't create your own unless it's not working, but that's something that you're either going to have to work with support or your publisher success manager on. I've whitelisted all Ezoic IPs in Cloudflare. However, I still have issues with the video app not working because possibly Cloudflare DDoS protection that I have to disable. So first things first, if you're integrated with Cloudflare and then Ezoic, you're going to have a ton of security features that are automatically enabled on your site. So you don't need any of your own custom security features enabled at Cloudflare. So if that's getting in the way of you using the Ezoic video player, I would definitely recommend disabling those. Again, we have 16,000 websites that we work with. The majority of them are coming through our servers. So we make sure that our servers and security is absolute top notch. But I've actually never heard of this before, so I wouldn't say that it's a common thing. If I don't use Chrome, how do I embed videos on my blog post? You can go into the Ezoic video player and then go down to placeholders, create placeholder, and then it will give you the placeholder code to add to your website. Does having the same video hosted on YouTube and your site interfere with Google search at all, thus only hosted on your site or YouTube? No, you can definitely have it on both. Most of the time, what we've been seeing is that the self-hosted videos are actually showing up higher in the result pages than the YouTube videos. Will there be a replay of this? Yes, of course. We record all of our sessions. The Ezoic video speed seems to be not enough for countries with low speed connection. YouTube works well. Actually, YouTube adds a ton of JavaScript to the site, so it's one of our needs improvement recommendations for this site. If you look in your Leap dashboard, Most of the time, what I have seen, if sites want to continue using YouTube, they'll just take a thumbnail, and then once a user clicks on that, it'll take them over to YouTube. Again, it's taking traffic away from your website, but the overall speed from our video player is actually one of our number one considerations. So we make sure that it's fast. We make sure that the floating option doesn't cause any issues with CLS. What lengths of videos work best? How short and how long? Hey, Greg. Definitely depends on your users. What are they looking for? What questions are they looking to get answered? So this kind of goes back into the strategy of what works best for you. I'm pretty sure that we can play ads every 30 seconds is the Google recommendation. So we'll play it if a video is a minute and a half or a minute and 20 seconds long. It means that we can play 2 ads. So we're going to play one at the beginning and then one halfway through. So totally depends. Make sure that you're answering the question. Make sure that it's relevant to what the user is looking for. And if you find that it's not answering the question, then you might need to expand on it a little bit more. But it really depends on the content of your site to see what's performing well. I got warnings for duplicate titles for videos that I uploaded to Ezoic. What can I do to correct this? Just make sure that the video titles aren't the same. You can add in some customization. So if I have chocolate chip cookie recipes, but I have another video for chocolate chip cookie recipes, I can say the best chocolate chip cookie recipe or something like that. So just make sure they're not identical. If you don't have identical titles, then definitely create a support ticket because that's a bug in our system. After linking my AdSense to Ezoic, I'm unable to see the daily users and viewers in their countries like I used to see them before joining Ezoic. More on the revenue on AdSense, not counting anymore. There could be a number of reasons for this. You're going to have to contact support or your publisher success manager. There's a million different reasons to why this happens. Most of the time, it's just a tracking issue. Make sure that you have the codes implemented correctly. Sometimes after placing the video, we see in some of the pages, video gets unassigned automatically and we have to assign it again. Again, that's a bug in our system. If you can grab a screenshot of that happening and send it in to us, it'll really help us identify what's going on. If it was happening yesterday, I think it's the issue with our database, but that definitely shouldn't be happening. So definitely flag that to us. What works best, single video or playlist? Again, totally depends on the content of your website. So if you have one video that is really relevant, or you have multiple videos that are relevant across the entire site or across multiple pages, again, that's your call. Just make sure that content is relevant to what the user is looking for. I use the embed in WordPress editor to add YouTube videos to the user. Is this something that I can do from the dashboard also? I'm a little bit confused by your question. If you're looking to add the YouTube videos via Ezoic, you're going to need to import them. We don't take any of the YouTube embed links and add it. It's actually uploaded to the Ezoic servers. So sorry, I'm just a little confused. Processing failed. This definitely happens if you're using a large, hey Glenn, this definitely happens if you are using, or it's a really large video. So definitely recommend delete it, upload it again. If you're still having issues, it might be your bandwidth connection or your internet connection. So just make sure that you have a good internet connection. I haven't created individual videos for each article on my website. I do have one promo video for my site. It's under 60 seconds. Is it possible to place this video on each page until I create individual videos for each page? Yes, so when you go in, assign it to the page and then apply to directory and then just choose the one with the /. That's going to apply it to all pages that have that placeholder. So just make sure that that placeholder is showing across all pages. Apply that, assign that video to the subdirectory and it'll show. Community help, level 2, contact me on my dash account manager. I would go, yeah, that's a tough one. You should be able to create a support ticket. If video placeholders transfer to all pages, why do we have to create one placeholder per page to assign each video? So The placeholders are going to transfer across the entire site, but video assignments are on a per page basis because it is known that our best practice is to make sure that the video is most relevant to what the user is looking for. So that's why it's on a page by page assignment. We added the meta tag assignment so that if you have a meta tag that you want to assign a video, you can do it across multiple pages. But we're never going to change that individual assignment because we're steering away from that like fake video assignment that isn't relevant to what the user is looking for. Okay, is there the ability to just get an embed code for the player? I've never been able to get the browser extension to work. Yes, for sure. So again, if you go in and create that placeholder, you can copy the HTML for that placeholder and add it in. Do you have a video tutorial on how to use the video player? Yes. If you actually go to YouTube and pull up Ezoic, we have Ezoic Academy, and that's going to show you exactly how to use it. Is there a limit on video size or number I can upload? No. Sorry, guys, somebody's using this conference room in 5 minutes. I'm going to have to talk fast again. Videos we assign in the main domain are not getting displayed on subdomain pages, probably because they're not assigned unless you're assigning it to the entire directory. So just go in and make sure that assignment is done correctly. Once we upload will captions automatically be generated by your video service? Yes, we actually pull in the captions. We can create the transcripts. We can adjust the language of those transcripts if you're dealing with foreign markets as well. So we automatically create all of that. I would definitely recommend go in and make sure that the IAB categories are set up, that the keywords are set up, and the description is set up on your end. And the title, obviously, those are definitely the 4 that I would say go in and make sure that you do. Please show how to add the meta tags on a particular WordPress post. It depends. Sometimes WordPress does these automatically, sometimes they don't. So it really just depends. There are quite a few plugins that help you assign meta tags to pages. So I'd recommend doing some research into that to see what works best for you. Could you please explain again where to find the video earnings again? I'm not seeing it. Also, my video upload is now disabled. Yeah, our servers, like I said, we're upgrading our databases. So the upload issue is just a little bit too taxing while we're transferring everything over at the moment. So just be patient. Hopefully we get that updated in the next day or 2. I know it's bad timing for this webinar, but you can find your video earnings if you go to the Ezoic dashboard, click on video. On the video, you're going to see that there's earnings by video. If you click on that revenue, it will actually take you to the big data analytics reporting directly. So 2 locations, publisher dashboard and video, or big data analytics. My videos are taking forever to load on site pages. It shouldn't take very long. If that's happening, it might be something to do with your connection and bandwidth. What's the difference between playback started and video play count? I actually don't remember this off the top of my head, but I know that the description is in the Ezoic support article for the video player. It's too early and I haven't finished my coffee yet. Sorry, Glenn. Do we have to place 3 video placeholders? No, that's just what I do. Where do I find the video placeholder configuration? If you go to the video tab and scroll down, it'll be in there. All right, is it legal to add videos from YouTube to our blog posts that are not currently ours? You can add YouTube videos to your website and embed them from an external YouTube channel. That's totally fine, but you won't be able to get them uploaded to Ezoic's video player. I have over 100 videos on my site. About 50% of my revenues comes from just one of those videos. What could be the reason? Just the number of page views that video gets. If the video is on YouTube and on the website via Ezoic, which will likely appear in SERP results? Totally depends. I have seen it happen where there's both, have seen it happen where there's one. Like I said, typically we see the Ezoic actually performing better. Yeah, we record all of our webinars, so it'll be added to the YouTube channel, but we'll also send a follow-up via email as long as you registered for this session. Which placeholder generally improves better revenue? Is there data on this? So for the video placeholders, again, it's going to depend on the video and on the page that you're getting added to it. Is there a good duration of video? Too long or too short? That doesn't work well. Again, every 30 seconds we can show an ad, so I'd make sure that they're above that 60-second mark, but it totally depends on your users and what content they are looking for. Are we better off uploading directly to Ezoic rather than using YouTube videos? If you have your YouTube channel established, you can use the video import tool, but all of that is going to upload those videos to Ezoic. So definitely recommend bringing over to Ezoic. I already answered this one. That is not about video. Video uploading is disabled. Yep, I know. So videos can be on both pages and on posts. That's totally fine. It's just sometimes the assignment with the Chrome extension doesn't work well if you're trying to assign it to both of them. Adding a video placeholder will add video placeholders to other similar pages. Can I add a unique video to a unique page? Yes, of course. So that video assignment is going to be based on the page and the URL and not the placeholder. So you'll see that the placeholder goes to multiple different pages. But if I assign my chocolate chip cookie recipe to chocolate chip cookie recipe, it's only going to go there. Even though the placeholder is 150, it's not going to go to the next 150. Is there Ezoic grants to help us? So again, if you're eligible for a grant, it will pop up in your dashboard. Okay, sorry. That's all the time we have. So thank you guys for coming, and hopefully you guys learned a bit about video, but enjoy the rest of your day, and this will get uploaded later today. Bye.